Hi, welcome to Infused and Confused. I'm Princess P, Cannabis DC. I do not have a co-host today, so it's just me, and like the lovely people here at Listen Vision. We're here at Tasty Tuesdays. We are here every Tuesday from 12 to 8. And if you come out from 5 to 6 during the show, then you get free food. So today I am making pumpkin chocolate chip pancakes. These are gluten-free. I'm going to tell you how you can make them vegan if you want. The pancakes themselves are not infused. The syrup is infused. And then I'm going to put powdered sugar for the people on staff who can't have infused food. So I do have the chat on. Hi, John. I'm going to do my best to interact with the chat as I'm doing this. So yeah, let's get started. So I have this is the brand Kodiak Cake, their gluten-free brand. It's an oat flour based pancake mix that you are supposed to just add milk to. You can use whatever brand that you want, whatever you prefer for yourself. There's several vegan brands. There's even a couple of paleo keto brands. So if that's what you're into, go for it. This is not vegan because it has eggs in the original mix. So I have that. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need chocolate chips. These actually are vegan chocolate chips, which I got a super good deal on. So I bought a lot of cases of them whenever they were available. But yeah, so they're just mini, but you can use any kind of chocolate chips you want. You could even omit the chocolate chips if you didn't want to, but I don't really know why you would want to do that because who doesn't like chocolate? Although my mom is allergic, so I guess that there are reasons people wouldn't want chocolate. And then you're going to need some pumpkin puree, just 100% pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie filling. You can use sweet potato instead. If you do that, I'd recommend that you bake the sweet potato and then just peel out the inside of the sweet potato. And then you need either pumpkin pie spice, which I left at home, or you need cinnamon. Either one will work. The pumpkin pie spice is definitely the better choice. I know a lot of people make fun of pumpkin spice things, but they can all go fuck themselves because A, it's delicious, and B, there's a ton of really great things in there. So, hi Trey. In pumpkin pie spice, it has allspice, clove, cinnamon, and sometimes ginger, depending on the brand that you get. So anybody who's ever actually talked to me about my ingredients of my pain tincture or of my topical balm knows most of those ingredients are in there. So there's actually a lot of nutritional and health and medical benefits to the spices that are in pumpkin pie spice. So people can laugh and make fun of it all they want. I don't really care. But if they tell you that it's, just for a fad, that's dumb. Tell them that there's lots of health benefits to pumpkin pie spice. So we're using cinnamon, but either one is fine. So I did not bring butter today because I didn't want to have to worry about keeping it cold. I had just enough room in the fridge downstairs for the milk. But I have an avocado oil spray. You can also use coconut oil, butter, margarine, whatever you prefer whenever you make pancakes. So this is a pretty versatile recipe. So I'm gonna spray a little bit on. I really like avocado oil. I'm a really big fan of this brand, this Chosen Foods brand. They also make a blended oil that is avocado, coconut, and safflower oil. Avocado oil has a higher smoke point. It's 500 degree Fahrenheit smoke point. So it makes it really good for things like sauteing. You don't really have to worry about it burning the same that you would have to worry about it with olive oil. So personal preference. Hi, Kevin. So first thing I'm going to do is start with the pancake mix. So I have 2 cups in the bag. I don't think I'm going to use all 2 cups. I wasn't sure how many people would be in the audience today. So I'm going to start with about half of this. If I need to make more pancakes, I will. So that's a little bit over a cup of mix. And then I'm going to open this pumpkin. This is not my can opener, so I have to figure out how the hell to use it. Hold on. Wait, how does this work? It's what kind of... This is some other world. I don't think so. This is what they gave me. Hold on. This is the most bizarre... What is this? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, wait. Do you do it that way, maybe? It's a top one. How many people does it take to open a can? Apparently a lot at the studio. Wait, it's not opening, I don't think. Pumpkin pie spices this shit. This avocado oil add a funny taste to the food. So to me, it doesn't, and I don't like avocado. So I'm not a huge fan. I used to like it, but I don't know, I got tired of it or whatever. But I am not one of those people who likes to put avocado in things. I don't really like it. And I don't notice the taste of avocado. In fact, I would say that olive oil has a more pungent olive taste than avocado oil does avocado. But I've also heard people tell me that they can taste coconut in coconut oil, and I don't taste coconut in coconut oil. So it could be a me thing, but in my experience, I haven't noticed any different taste. We need an angle with the pan. Yes, once it gets cooking, we will zoom in on the pancakes. We've got somebody opening the can, so I'm gonna like move forward with the... You are the best. 4 people later, and we got the pumpkin open. So I'm not gonna put a ton. I would say this is about a 1/4 cup. I'm gonna maybe add a little bit over that, so maybe like a 1/4 cup plus a tablespoon. So chocolate chips is entirely to your taste. So I'm gonna put, I don't know, enough. Another good thing you can put in here if you have it is if you have any kind of like roasted nuts with like candy coated pecans or like praline or like honey roasted peanuts like chopped up or like honey roasted almonds chopped up. I saw cinnamon almonds the other day. Something like that, some kind of like a sweet flavored nut would also be really good in here, or just pecans or walnuts. It's totally up to you, but I mean, if I'm gonna go towards the effort to make pancakes, they're gonna be really delicious. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of cinnamon. Let's see, probably about a 1/4 teaspoon. This is not cinnamon sugar. This is straight cinnamon. So you want to take it kind of easy. And then it's milk till it's at the texture that I want it to be. I realize that that's not super specific. If you're new to the show, welcome. There's a reason it's called Infused and Confused, because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. And cooking is very much that way. So with me, baking is really the only thing that I try to use like precise measurements on. Anything past that, I don't. So I can give you an approximate, but I'll tell you, add a little more, add a little less. If your batter is really thick, they're gonna be really thick pancakes. If your batter is too thin, it's not gonna work, and they're gonna be more like crepes. Maybe without the like eggy taste. So you want kind of this like nice in between, unless you like really big, thick, fluffy pancakes. And I'm going for somewhere in between a regular size and like a fluffy pancake. So I know what texture I'm looking for. I'll show you on camera, but I'm just gonna add a small amount of milk, a little bit at a time, until it gets to the texture that I'm looking for. So that was probably a little over a 1/4 cup. It's not going to be enough. I'm going to need more. The other thing is that, like I said, this is the gluten-free version, and its base is oat flour. So oats tend to be really absorbent, and tend to be able to like take a lot more liquid than, say, like wheat flour would. So that's about the consistency I'm looking for. I'm gonna finish stirring it, but let's see if I can get, is this camera easier to zoom on, or that one? Okay, so see how it's like kind of coming apart, but it's still like slowly coming off of the fork? That's kind of the texture that I'm looking for, kind of that in between, really thick and just right, because I think these taste better when they're like a little fluffy. So I'm going to turn the pan on now. I thought that I did that a minute ago, but I didn't, so that's okay. We can wait. Hi, JJ. While I'm waiting on the pan to heat up, does anybody have any questions just about making the pancake themselves, like the batter?
Yeah, so like, I always feel like my batter is runny.
Yeah, that means you're putting too much liquid. So you want to use a little bit less liquid.
So do I have to add more ingredients then to fix it Like, do I have
So are you making them from scratch, or do you are you buying like a mix?
I usually buy a mix.
So if you're buying a mix and you notice that your batter is too thin, you can just add a little bit more mix. I actually saw a meme. I wish that I'd saved it and totally could use it right now. But I saw a meme the other day that said something like, add pancake mix, add milk, too runny. And then it was like, add pancake mix, too thick. And it like went back and forth. And then it was like, serves 150 pancakes, because that's like how it often goes for me in my kitchen, is that I'll be like, no, that's not quite right. It's the fact that I did it pretty much right the first time is shocking.
So are we gonna add chocolate chips now, or do we add that later?
So I added them to the mix. If you don't want any kind of like chocolate burn on your pan, you can add them after the fact. Some people pour the batter and then drop the chocolate chips. I just like putting it in.
Yeah, because like what I usually do is I drop them in, and then I flip, and then I put the chocolate chips on.
Yeah, so some people do that, and that's totally fine. You can do it however is easiest for you, basically.
That's because I want the chocolate to be like super melty, but not burn.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, I like it when it's like got that little crisp on it from like being grilled in the pan, but it's still really chocolatey and like melty on the inside. Oh, side note, while I have this bottle in my hand, this is the best. Don't even know what brand it is, so this is definitely not some kind of promotion, but this is the best water bottle I've ever had in my life. Why has nobody told me about these steel water bottles? You can put water in, like I put water from my fridge in this thing last night before I went to bed, and when I woke up this morning, I took a drink and it was still freaking ice cold. Like, I don't know what kind of like devil magic is in this bottle, but it keeps water really cold. So if you find one of these like metal steel bottles or whatever and you like bottles, grab one. Okay, let's see if this pan is hot enough. Almost there. So the hot plates don't take, they take a little bit longer to warm up than like your oven might. I've got it on like a medium heat. If that seems like it's too hot once the pancakes are on there, then I'll turn it down some. But usually I recommend medium heat for pancakes. Let's see. That's probably good enough to get them on. So if you're smart, you'll have a ladle or like a measuring cup or something like that to like measure out your pancakes, but I left mine at home. So I'm just using this fork. I'm making them somewhat small. I find them easier to deal with when they're small. So this particular brand doesn't usually take a super long time to cook, but it's important just to watch it. Pancakes will usually start to bubble in the middle, but this doesn't do that, and I think that it's the oat flour. Like, I think the oat flour is just too thick for it to get a lot of those bubbles that like normal pancakes might get. But at home, if you're using regular pancake mix, you probably will notice bubbles forming. So I'm just gonna sit there and wait for those to cook. Anybody in the chat have any questions? Or in studio?
Yeah, can you add oil directly to the pancakes? Like cannabis oil?
So you could do that, and I would say that you probably wouldn't have to worry about it cooking off too much of the THC or converting it, depending on like how hot the pan is and how long you're cooking it for. But
Do you think butter would be better? Like if I just put butter on right now?
So-
a little slice of butter?
So here's the thing. You could do that. But historically, when like my partner Big Worm has done that on many occasions, he has definitely slathered can of butter on biscuits more times than he probably should have dared, and also on pancakes, I believe. The problem is that the tree taste tends to be really, really overpowering to the point that it might make you like gag. You know what I mean? So in my experience,
You don't have anything covering the taste.
right, you don't really have anything covering the taste at all, whereas in like a savory dish, so say you made like spaghetti or something, the herbs that are in that, you could sprinkle some butter or some oil right on top of it and it would pretty immediately blend into the flavors of that. But with pancakes, you don't really have anything like covering it up. So
That's why you put it in the syrup, right?
that's why I put it in the syrup. Yeah, so the syrup that I have here is equal parts 100% maple syrup and raw honey, and then equal parts brown sugar and tincture, and then that's cooked down until the alcohol from the tincture is cooked off. You can make a big batch at a time if you want. That's usually what I do. But yeah, so that's how I infuse the syrup. But you could also infuse the syrup with, let's see. You could use infused sugar. You could use distillate. You could use like CBD isolate if you were just wanting to use like.
So what about changing the flavor of the syrup? Like let's say I wanted to do like strawberry syrup.
So.
Just like drop strawberries in there, or what's the deal? How do you do that?
So a strawberry syrup, I would say what you'd want to do is make something more similar to like a jam. So if you wanted to make like strawberries, then you'd cut the ends of all the strawberries and cut them up, put them in a pan. I would probably add like some orange juice and then sugar, and let that kind of like cook down until it becomes basically jam. And then I would add in juice and tincture or infused sugar and kind of like until it's thinned out, and I would probably blend it to make it more like a syrup. So that's how I would do it if I was going to use like a strawberry syrup. It's totally versatile in that regard. You could probably also just sprinkle infused sugar on top of the pancakes when they were done. I just don't really like the taste. Like I have like people get so mad at me when I say that, but like I just don't like the way that weed tastes, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm not like one of those people. I'm not talking about the taste when you smoke it. I mean, like, I don't want to taste it in my edibles. These are not ready to flip yet. I don't want to taste it in my edibles. I don't want. I would never like just pick flour up and put it in my mouth. And so I think that I just am. And it's not an herb you would normally put in sweets. So it's interesting that most edibles really started with like pot brownies or something. You know what I mean? Because like it's an herb that usually like you wouldn't put rosemary in brownies. That's like a great example, I think. You know what I mean? Like how strong and pungent it is. Exactly. And so it's just interesting because people think I'm crazy when I'm like, oh no, I'm trying to mask that smell. But it's not really an herb that you would normally use in sweets anyway. So I don't think it's too crazy.
All the terpenes that you get out of the cannabis are usually like myrcene,
right.
limonene.
Right. So a lot of the ones that would also be in lavender, that would be in rosemary. I mean, it depends on the strain almost entirely. So obviously, if you have a more citrusy strain, that one might work better as far as flavor wise. But still, like I still just feel like with the resins, everything else, I feel like it tastes better in savories. But personal choice, I guess. Hi, Nina.
I never really thought of that, but it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So I am smoking on this cart today. That's what I'm using. This is one of our like CO2 carts. So shout out to District Extracts for making these for us. So from our harvest, processed in DC and all that stuff. So that's super cool. So if you're a grower and you want to get some of your harvest turned into carts, like DC Extracts are really good people. So hit them up. You've been hanging out with other people that make hash too, huh?
Oh yeah, shout out to One Hit Wonder, Plantgenics, TDK Extracts.
It's Rodrigo from Capital Skunk talking right now, by the way. You want to tell them about your show?
Oh yeah, so Fresh Pressed Hash House on Mondays from 8 to 9. And it's all about hash making, growing organically, and the no-till growing. And then we also talk a lot about the music that's playing. Usually have a DJ who plays live, some house music. Probably going to have some guys who come in and do some reggae music too. Should be interesting.
Very cool. Do you have studio audience?
Yes, we usually have some people who roll through. We've had a Dank Look on the City come through as a member of the audience. Usually Stoner's over here as well. Stoner's always here, so you can.
He is. He lives here.
Expect him here, yeah, at the studio.
I don't know why they don't just give him a bed.
It's his second home.
It absolutely is. He's not even in here right now for us to talk shit.
Yeah, where is he?
He's on his way.
All right, cool.
I broke one of my pancakes. It happens. Be careful when you're flipping. The pan was not hot enough when I put the pancakes on. They're still cooking fine, but they're not getting that quite like crispy top that you would get if you put it right into butter. So I'm just kind of letting it chill for a second. And as the pan heats up more, it will correct itself. Do you make pancakes a lot?
I love pancakes.
Me too.
Pancakes are, you could literally survive on pancakes because flour is so cheap.
Well,
water.
unless you have celiac disease, and then you can't.
Yeah, that's true. Then you have to do like rice flour, and rice flour is not cheap. That stuff is expensive.
No, almond flour, rice flour, coconut flour, tapioca starch. Like, I have like a whole pantry of gluten-free
really
flours.
like tapioca starch. Tapioca starch is probably my favorite of the.
But it's so expensive.
But the
all of them are.
Is so cool. Like tapioca flour and cheese together, and like frying those. It's like these. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that's the base for like those Brazilian cheese ball things. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It's like tapioca starch or tapioca flour and cheese. And
we should make some of those.
I think you need an oven for that.
Oh man, or a fryer.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could like, you know how they have those like air fryers?
Yeah, I don't know if those would work. I really want one of those though. If you have an air fryer and you're watching on Facebook, by the way, leave it in the comments so that I can read about whether it's actually worth it or not, because I really want one.
Yeah, they're really interesting.
Are they the best? See, like I make like on the weekend, I make a lot of chicken nuggets, and I feel like I'd have really good chicken nuggets in an air fryer.
You could make your own chicken nugget, like
I do that sometimes, but I also just get like the gluten-free. Like I have like a good like organic gluten-free one that I get. But
you get the dinosaurs. Do they have dinosaurs in the gluten-free?
No,
one?
they don't have them in those shape.
Man,
I know, it's really sad.
yeah.
So I mean, I could make them. The whole point of why I have them on the weekends is because those like on Saturdays, like for lunch. It's because I'm busy all week and I don't really feel like doing anything. And I usually make like a nice dinner like Saturday night and Sunday night, and so like that's kind of my like in between meal of like.
So are pancakes usually like a Sunday morning type of thing, or?
So pancakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday morning. If I make breakfast, I make breakfast Sunday mornings. Most of the time, I eat smoothies for breakfast. So my normal morning, because I'm home by myself, is I usually make a smoothie. Leave comments if you want me to do a whole smoothie episode, because I'm happy to, because I make them like every day. So I usually make a smoothie in the morning, an infused one. Or I'll have like overnight oats or like yogurt, something like that. But like I'm really like not a breakfast person like in the morning, and so like it's taken some like serious work on my part to like become a breakfast person. Like I love breakfast food. I just don't want to eat when I first wake up. Like I would much rather like just drink coffee and eat snacks. So
I can't do the overnight oats.
Really, you don't like them?
No.
What did you not? Is it the texture?
Yeah, it's the texture for me. Like, it's like I like grits, but like.
I love grits. Oh my god, I love grits so much.
I don't like oats.
You don't like oats at all?
No.
Oh, so then of course you wouldn't like overnight oats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me they were a little weird to get used to. Like I'd never really like had anything like that before. Like they don't taste like oatmeal. Like they kind of do, but they taste like cold oatmeal that also kind of reminds you of cereal. But like you can doctor them up. Like I make like some with like peanut butter and chocolate chips. That one is like delicious, but I don't use like real chocolate chips. I use like these vegan, like dairy free, like super low sugar ones or whatever.
That sounds much better than the one that I had, which was like plain.
Oh no, that's ew. Like you wouldn't eat plain oatmeal either. Like
it was like plain with like raisins and brown sugar, and I was like, oh,
that was a white person shit right there, wasn't it? Yeah,
completely. Shout out to my mom.
My mom is also white, so I understand these these things.
She's Spanish, but she like eats. She like came here when she was really young, and she like.
I hate raisins.
Grew up here.
I've actually never really understood.
She went to the Midwest. Pretty much from like
with
16 on,
raisins.
grew up in the Midwest.
I like cranberries, like those craisins or whatever, or like other kinds of dried fruit. Like dried blueberries are really good. Like freeze-dried strawberries are delicious. Like I love stuff like that. But like raisins are like the nastiest of the dried fruit. So like I've put golden raisins in like granola that I've made from scratch before, but that's like about the extent. And like I'd eat Raisin Bran when I was a kid, but those don't really count because they're like covered in sugar. So like I was really just we all know that you ate the raisins and that stuff as a kid because it was covered in sugar. So
definitely.
Let's see.
That's why I love cereal.
Oh my god, I love cereal too. See, but that's the problem. I like cereal too much, so like I've had to really like buckle down and like planning food for myself so that I don't just order takeout when I'm here and eat cereal when I'm at home, because like that was pretty much my routine for a while there, and that's not, when you have chronic illness, you gotta treat your whole body, and you can't
eat cereal in the house because of that, because I just eat it all the time, like at 3 a.m.
It's my favorite munchy snack is like cereal. Like I eat cereal so much, like I love it so much, but I'm much better about it now. So I've been working hard at not eating cereal for dinner or breakfast or midnight snack, or because I saw the box.
We have a bunch of cereal bars, but I've been trying not to eat them.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is like I don't eat a lot of like sweet edibles anyway, so that's been like, I know that there's a lot of people that love them, but I think most people break them up into small pieces, so it's cool. But like, even like the gummies or whatever, like my gummies or whatever, like I would eat like half of one or a whole one like before I went to bed, but like I really only stay high all day, like on the weekends. And that's it. Or if I'm at home because I'm having like a bad day, like a bad pain day or like a mental health day or whatever it is that I'm home for. If I'm home all day, it's different. But when I have like adult stuff to do, I can't stay high all day. And edibles, I have a very low tolerance for. So I've told people on this show before that my saturation point is probably around 30 milligrams, so not much. All right, so let's see. These are looking nice. Hello to everybody that's watching. Nutter Butter cereal from Walmart. I'm sure that it's probably not gluten-free, but that sounds delicious and also sounds like it would probably make really good cereal bars. I don't make cereal bars often, mostly just like if somebody asks me for them, then I'll make them. But if you want really good cereal bars, Faded Mystics / Frida's Kitchen has really good ones. Also, you can never go wrong with a Ratchet Cake, so Southeast Ratchet Cakes. Who makes your favorite cereal bar? People watching. Need like 1,000 milligrams. No, you do not. And you're going to get me on a rant because you do not need 1,000 milligrams. Whoever told you that, they lied. If you need that many milligrams of something based in butter or oil, then your body does not absorb cannabinoids through your intestinal tract primarily. There's no effing way that you need that much in tincture. So I would say that what's going on is that you probably have some sort of gastrointestinal thing or something genetic. There's a few other things that can make you not have really reactions to edibles. Or people have been lying to you about the percentage of the edibles that you've been getting. Or you just need to try tincture or give up edibles altogether. Because your body does not need 1,000 milligrams unless you're like a cancer patient. And if you are, in which case, my apologies. So, yep. Come on out. We are at Listen Vision Studios, 2622 Georgia Avenue Northwest. These are about done. I only need another minute or so. The oats definitely like cook pretty fast. Thank you, Amber. And yeah, so if you do have any questions, just leave them in the chat for everybody that's watching.
You ever do breakfast for dinner?
Yes. So actually, that's what I was saying. So I love breakfast food. I just don't really like eating in the morning. So a lot of times I either do a nice breakfast on Sunday, or if I don't feel like it, then I might do like a breakfast for dinner. I also make these like breakfast sandwiches that you can freeze, and I found like a gluten-free way to make them. So I basically have like a homemade breakfast sandwich that I can put in my microwave if I want that, and that's pretty delicious. So. Yep, so that's what I told them a minute ago. So the infused syrup, it is equal parts 100% maple syrup and raw honey. Local if you can find it. This is not local, but it came from a really small farm, the honey that's in it. And then equal parts brown sugar and tincture, and then cooked down until all the sugar's dissolved and the alcohol's burned off the tincture. So I've got the stove turned off. So for people who do not want it infused, I actually recommend that you could use powdered sugar. Like, I don't think that these need syrup, in my opinion. But if you like, a lot of syrup, then feel free to use that as well. But we've got some people that work here at Listen Vision that can't have infused food while they're working. So I brought powdered sugar for them. Yeah, feel free, invite your friends. Come out every Tuesday, 12 to 8. Every Friday is Freestyle Fridays. They're here from 12 to 10. So yeah, come down and have a good time. Free food for everybody here.
I got into a Nutter Butter hole just trying to figure out if they were gluten-free.
Did you just now?
Yeah.
Are they gluten-free?
They're not.
No, of course they're not.
They're not. But
no,
Fruity Pebbles are, though.
I'm pretty lucky. Like, there's a couple of companies that, like, have really stepped their game up in regards to, like, gluten-free cereal.
Cheerios.
So, like, every Cheerio except for the one that has granola in it is gluten-free.
Honey Bunches of Oats.
Honey Bunches of Oats has a chocolate version that's gluten-free, but the regular one is not.
Damn, I love the regular one. Lucky Charms is also.
Lucky Charms is gluten-free, and all the Chex. And those are my personal favorite, are the Chex. But I usually alternate between different kinds of Cheerios and different kinds of Chex. I try to keep the Lucky Charms and stuff like that out. The Chex and the certain Cheerios are not really much better, but in my brain, I justify them much easier.
You know, it's like they have like those weird brands that are like, I've never heard of that brand before.
Yeah, there's some like natural brands that but a lot of it's not good. Like my thing is like if I'm gonna eat cereal, like I want it to taste good. If it's gonna taste super healthy, then I'm not gonna eat the cereal. I would just go eat a salad or something. My thing is like that I'm all about like including things that are like better choices. So like to me, a better choice is like a plain Cheerio. Like I don't even necessarily have to have Honey Nut Cheerios. Like they can just be regular Cheerios or regular like rice Chex or corn Chex or something. So it doesn't have to be the flavored kind, but like I would rather do that or eat like fruit or some other like whole food than eat some cereal that's probably still got more sugar in it than the like Lucky Charms do for like 3 times the cost that just happens to be organic. So a lot of those are like gimmicks in my opinion. So sorry about my little cereal rant, but all right, so to plate it up, I'm just going to put 1 pancake. If you are infusing it, then I can, if you want to know the milligrams of the syrup, you can comment and I'll send you the details on the comment. But I have it written down at home and I can't think of it right now. But I remember telling myself to do approximately a teaspoon per pancake. So, this isn't coming out super well. There we go. So, I'd say that's about a teaspoon or so. But you can also sprinkle it with powdered sugar, which is what I'm going to do. Infused Chex Party Mix. I have made that. I have made infused Chex Mix. How many milligrams do you estimate in a full bottle of my tincture? Most of them I don't have to estimate for now, thankfully, because we've gotten them mostly lab tested through Steep Hill, including the actual tincture, not just the flour. So most of them I have exact numbers for, but they range depending on the strain. But because tincture works pretty much exactly like flour does in the sense that the reaction that your body gets to it is going to be the exact same reaction that you would get from smoking it, unlike regular edibles that have to digest differently through your body, and it's pretty much always going to be a body high.
So is that because it's like alcohol based?
Yeah, it's because it's alcohol based, and yes, so it's usually absorbed into your blood quicker. It usually only takes about 15 to 20 minutes to kick in. If you're brave and you do it sublingually, it takes even less time than that, but I don't recommend it. So the milligrams don't exactly matter because, like, for example, we've got a Blue Dream one that's 150 milligrams for the bottle. But I strongly prefer that over the 9-pound hammer, which is 260 milligrams. So we've been kind of tricked into thinking that the milligrams matters for quality, but that's just not true. Like, you wouldn't walk into the liquor store, like if you're a drinker, and I hate comparisons between weed and alcohol, but in this case, it's one that I feel like is accurate. You wouldn't just walk into the liquor store and ask for the highest proof alcohol and assume that that's the best liquor because it's the highest proof. So it's kind of the same thing. Like, it depends on what kind of effects you're looking for. But they vary. Our highest one is 260 milligrams. Our lowest one is about 140 milligrams. So somewhere in that range. All right, I'm going to put a little bit drizzle more. All right, who wants the first one? Whoever wants it can take it. It's infused. There's probably only about 20 milligrams in that, though, so it shouldn't get you, like, stupid high. If you want more syrup, I'm happy to put it on there for you, though.
It's awesome here in the show. Every studio member gets some
free food.
Yeah.
Yep, and I'm going to run some to the staff right quick. Actually, no, I'll give this one. You want to run this one to them?
Sure, I'll run it to the staff. No problem. You're welcome. They actually look like big-ass cookies.
They do, don't they?
Cookies?
It is 100% cocaine all over these pancakes.
It's sugar. It's sugar. It's sugar.
I think it's on this one. If you don't put it, yeah. Okay. Let's not do that. It's this one right here.
Yeah, shit right there. Yeah, the ones with the powdered sugar.
Do you want the infused syrup on it? Okay, that's what I thought. Who wants an infused one?
I do.
Okay.
I want 3.
So, people that are watching on Facebook, by the way, you can continue to ask questions. I'm still glancing down at the chat. I am setting this down because this lid is not working for me. Doc is in the building. Physician for the People is here.
Precision.
Be sure to check him out on Instagram at Physician for the People.
Oh my god, he ate my pancake!
This one is not infused yet. Do you want not infused?
They didn't bring us any.
Did they not? I handed out 2 of them. Hold on.
They did not make it to the
Yep.
Can I get one with the syrup on there?
Yep.
Add that syrup. Oh, I want both. Hey, what's up?
It's not that kind of syrup. You're very welcome. I got 2.5 left. Who wants them? Infused or not infused? You want it infused?
My birthday.
Okay, so you want it infused, right?
I don't know what's that.
It is infused maple syrup with honey.
Alright, let's try it.
All right. This is a pumpkin chocolate chip pancake.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah. All right, I gave you a little extra syrup since it's your birthday. You want some powdered sugar too?
Yeah, that's right. Oh. That looks good.
There you go.
Thank
All right, I've got 1.5 left. Doc, do you want one? You want it infused? Okay. Say hi. Oh, wait, that camera. That one.
These are really good, aren't they?
Oh, good. They're so easy. And like, I actually like tested the recipe double checked the recipe this morning to make sure that like this brand of pancake mix would like work with the recipe. And it took literally 5 minutes to make this. So
Tasty. Why, thank you.
you're very welcome. All right, there's like a half of one left. Who wants it?
Oh, me? Yeah, I didn't look in one.
You want it infused? You want both? All right. Oh, everything you're gonna get from me is a little bit confused. That's how I live. This weekend, funny story. Well, not really that funny, but whatever, just my life. I like went into the kitchen to get something and forgot what I was going in there for and came back out, and Big Worm asked me, he was like, isn't that like the 3rd or 4th time today you've walked into the kitchen and not known what you were going in for? And I was like, welcome to my life. I am perpetually walking into spaces and having no clue what the fuck I'm doing. So if you can relate, like this video. All right, so that's all for today. We're going to finish up a little bit. It is playing on Facebook Live. You can also watch on listenvisionlive.com. So again, we are here at Listen Vision every Tuesday for Tasty Tuesdays from 12 to 8. And then on Fridays for Freestyle Fridays from 12 to 10. District Dabbers. Yeah, every Tuesday from 8 to 9. Or is it 8 to 9 or is it 9 to 10? 9 to 10 is District Dabbers. So big shout out to them. We love them. And yeah, so on Mondays is Fresh Pressed Hash House. That's a mouthful. It really is a mouthful.
It's just fresh pressed.
Okay.
Fresh pressed.
All right. Fresh Pressed. Every Monday.
What?
And then the DC Farmer Show is every Monday from 9 to 10. So if you're interested in learning how to grow, come out to his studio audience. Really chill vibes. He usually has drinks for people. Yeah. So, yeah, Farmer's like really good to people in audience. He like really treats them like his guests.
Yeah,
So
he really hooks it up.
Mondays from 9 to 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, on my show we usually pass out some beer too, because I do like a little fresh pressed beer segment.
Nice.
Do a little of infusion of beer with.
So they could come to your show and then stay for Pharma's and just like hang out and have a good old time.
Yeah, and then they get to smoke some J's with me because I'm usually staying there for at least 30 minutes with Farmer Show smoking.
Nice. So then every Tuesdays is this show from 5 to 6. I'm trying to think of any other shows to shout out. Stoner for the People.
He's passing out J's, but we're just passing out on Stoner.
Yeah. On Stoner, they're just passing out. This is true. So that's every Friday from 8 to 9. Yep. And then let's see, a Dank Look on the City, Southeast Ratchet Kicks. That's every Thursday from I think 9 to 10 as well. But yeah, so there's lots of really cool cannabis-friendly shows here at Listen Vision. So come check it out sometime.
Oh wait, isn't there a like Phone Homie show on?
Phone Homie is on Sunday. Yep.
Yeah, Phone Homie.
I know, it's so interesting that I forget now because like that's really what started me in the community here. And back in the several years ago, anybody that's been in the cannabis community in DC since the beginning, or since the beginning of like I-71, knows that like Phone Homie show, like the Slab Hour, like that's where everybody was at. Like you couldn't even get in here. They had to block people from coming in because it was so full. Like you had to get here an hour early if you even thought you were gonna get a seat. So like, yeah. So it's really interesting that I don't know why I forget sometimes. But Rico, really, really great guy, Phone Homie, every Sunday from 9 to 10. Right? Yeah. So yeah. Thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to them later. And yeah, be sure to follow me on Instagram at CannabisDC. Thanks. Bye.